Okay, I've loosened the screws that are holding this faceplate on, and there's one remaining. One thing I wanted to point out first, when I took this off last time on the beta wheel, I was a little bit concerned of possibly putting it back on and the shaft that goes inside the main part of the wheel base rotating and me putting it on not straight or something like that when I reassembled it. So this is probably unnecessary. I don't think it goes on many different ways, but it may. There goes one of the screws that's holding in the faceplate. So what I did, I'm not sure if this will come in on camera or not, but I just got a little Sharpie and I just marked the top of the hub. It is black, so it's probably better to use a silver Sharpie or some other color, but I can still see where this is. So anyway, that's just one little tip. Not sure if it's necessary or not, but that way at least I know where the wheel is centered on there. So I've loosened these 3 screws here. One of them just fell out. It's actually the same kind of screw that went in the other part that we undid earlier. So again, I want to keep everything lined up straight. So I'm just going to turn the whole unit over so I can get to that last screw. Pull it up a little and tilt it back. I don't want to strain this cable too much, but here's the last screw. And don't have to take them out all the way, although as you saw a minute ago they do kind of just fall out. But that should be enough to loosen the front plate. Let's see if our other 3 are loose enough. Gonna come off? There it goes. Okay. So there you can see the 4 screw holes have come off, and this is the main circuit board. It's the first time I've seen this because I've only seen the beta ones before. So, and it wasn't a 360 compatible one, so this looks a little bit different. Yeah, this is easier to work in than the other one. The other one was a little bit more. The other one had a piece that went up like this and it wasn't as cleared out. It was a little bit harder to work with, as I recall. Here you can see this is where we were reaching in all the way into here to unscrew through the front of this. So that's why I said it's like tough to work in that small confined area. This would be the main cable here where I could take this cable out and pull the whole entire front wheel off, which is probably what I should do right now. But let me just think about this for a minute. What we're going to do is we have to remove these buttons to get this circuit board out, and it's actually really cool how these buttons work. I'll show you that in a second. But what we're going to do is take the buttons off so that the circuit board is accessible. We're going to pull the circuit board out, and that's just going to leave us with the rim itself. And we're going to do the same procedure on the other wheel, take that circuit board out, we're going to swap the rims. So we're going to put this circuit board right here, and hopefully these buttons, if they fit, onto this rim. So the first step that I have to do here is to take the buttons off so that we can get the circuit board out. I will go ahead and take this off too. It looks like it's got some kind of a glue on the cables, but should just pull off. Just obviously want to be careful with things like this. Okay. This is glued on, the cable and the connector. It has some kind of an epoxy, and I'm pretty sure it's not on the back side, so I can see where they join. I could probably wiggle it loose, but what I'm afraid of is I'm afraid of pulling the bottom part of the connector off of the circuit board if that glue is really strong. I also tried to get a little thin screwdriver in here and kind of scrape it away a little bit, but it's being kind of stubborn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the buttons off like I did yesterday, because I know how that works, and pull the circuit board a little bit. I don't know how much play I have here in the cable, but it may be possible that I could pull this whole circuit board out and slide it away from the rim without disconnecting it. I don't think I'm going to have that much play in the cables, but I'm going to at least give it an attempt before I try to rip this out. So I'm not sure how well this is going to translate on camera, but one of the things, in fact, I'm just going to grab the camera. One of the things that I think is really cool about how this wheel is made is, let me just let this focus a little, sorry if anybody's getting dizzy. Alright, here's that, go on, focus. Maybe if I give it a little more light. Here's that connector that I'm talking about that is really tight. But if you look at, let me back up a little so you see where you are. If you look at the way the buttons are on here, these buttons are a toggle. They push this way and they push this way, and they're obviously tripping buttons on the circuit board. But what I think is really elegant about this design that I never knew before, there's this steel rod that's right in here. It's like a metal rod right here, and all I have to do to get these buttons off is carefully take a pair of needle nose pliers, grab on, and it's hard to do this with one hand. You slide this out like this. That's better. And when you slide this out, it's probably going to fall now since my other hand's holding the camera. But these buttons, these buttons are held in with this nice rod. You drop the rod out and the buttons just lift right off to reveal what's underneath. This was also a nice touch. These are the lights right here, the LEDs, and these are the actual push buttons right here. Have a really solid feel to them, and I've never seen this before. I thought I broke it yesterday because I saw this white thing come off, and the white thing is just like a little rubber cap that's form-fitted to the button itself, and I don't know if that helps keep it more dust-proof inside there, moisture resistant, whatever, but it's just a really nice touch. And then the buttons are just molded and they just sit on there, and you can see they have this nice hole in them where the rod goes through, and it also catches here on the circuit board slash not the circuit board itself, but the frame that's holding it. So really elegant way to do it. These buttons on the bottom, they're just clipped in, so you just carefully wedge them off like that. This is the D-pad, up, down, left, right. That was start and select. So I'm just going to pull this off. Carefully like that. Then you see the same thing down there with the LEDs and the buttons and the button covers. So I'm going to repeat the same thing over here, and then there are a couple of small screws in the circuit board, one on this side and one on this side, that we can undo, and then this piece here, and then the whole thing pulls out. What I don't know yet is if I have to undo this cable, so we'll see.